Hey guys, welcome to the Whimsical Workshop. We are back for month 12 of the Imagine Block of the Month. For those of you who've been following along, I apologize this one being late. We had a personal matter that took me out of the studio for almost a month, so I am playing catch up right now. So without further ado, let's start with block 12. Here is block 12. It's our last one, but I kept it pretty simple. We did a 9-patch and applique hearts. And I'm going to walk through very quickly how we put this one together because I want to get to the secondary project for you guys. And I'm going to have to point the camera down for that. And that is these lovely little wall organizers. You can hang them on your wall like that, and this one's got divided pockets. This is a little guy for like pins. This one's a little bit bigger for like maybe embroidery accessories, and then this one will hold a rotary cutter and scissors and whatnot. I wanted to do something fun and quick and easy for our very last project, so the directions are going to show you how to make this block and then how to do these organizers. Now let's get on to the threads. If you've just joined us, this is your first video, make sure you go back and watch the whole playlist for the 12 blocks for our Imagine quilt. The Imagine quilt was designed to go along with MulQueen Sewing's Aurifil Thread Collector Club. That's a local store, but you can buy them online. I'll put the links below. And every month you would have gotten a box of 3 large spools of Aurifil thread. And this month we gave you a variegated, a lovely purple, and my favorite hot pink. And so these are the threads you would get in the box, and then this is the bonus project and block to do it. And because we're on month 12, if you've been following along, these are your last 3. So now you have 36 absolutely yummy colors. And I hope you've enjoyed the whole project. If you're just starting, I know they still have boxes. You certainly can go in and join and maybe buy one a month for the next 12 months. But they do have them, so make sure you check that out. I did use all 3 colors in this project, so let's get to the block part. We give you the template to do the fusible hearts. As always, go back to video 1 that has our tutorial from start to finish on how to do fusible applique the Whimsical Workshop way. And so this is a nice easy one. It's just the hearts, and what we did is we used the variegated threads here on 2 of the hearts. I think it's these 2 actually. Then we used purple on that one and this one, and then we used the hot pink on 2, just to show you the difference that you can do. Like this one has more of an outline, definitely more of an outline. This one you can see, hopefully, let's see if I hold it up for you. You can see where it goes from light to dark to light, so you can see if you like that look, or there's just the solid pink that matches that goes around. So it was a way for you to play with the different types of threads and see which way you liked it on these hearts. And then we did a 9-patch block. We wrote the instructions so it can be done strip pieced, so you'd have to make 2 strip sets. You've got the white, purple, white, and then you have purple, white, purple. So once you sew the strip sets together to make the block, you would actually cut. Let me just give you a block to look at here. There's the block. You would cut the 2.5-inch segments off of here, and then you'd sew the segments together to create the 9-patch. The blocks are really easy. The applique are really easy. I wanted to make sure that our last month was a fun month. So let's jump over to how to make the organizers, because guess what? Those are really easy too. So we're going to move this out of the way. I've already pre-cut everything following the directions for the organizers. I'm going to move this out of the way because we're done with our lovely block. And now let's look at our organizers and what we're making here. So, and of course I put them all out of order. So in the pattern you start with the small one first. This is medium, this is large. And we're going to run through it real quick because they're not very hard. I am going to need a glue gun, so let's get that started in the heat up process. I love the Gorilla glue gun. The glue sticks and the glue gun have been really nice. There's this little stand that pops down, and it comes with Gorilla. I mean, you can use any glue sticks, but these have been really nice. So I know we're going to need two of those. We're going to need a pair of scissors. Those are my Mongo scissors I love. And a friction pen or chalk pencil to make these. So first things first, we're going to make the small one. It's the easiest. And I did all of these kind of assembly line, and you'll see why in a second. So what we're going to do is you need to fold the fabric in half. And fold this fabric in half. This one's already folded. I'm going to run over and I'm going to press these really quick. Okay, and now that they're pressed, we're going to go ahead and use the template. It says fold on the template. So I'm going to align, I'm going to do it upside down actually, it works easiest. I'm going to align the fold with the folded edge of the fabric. This is the open, this is folded. And I'm going to just start in the middle and draw out. It can be any kind of pen because you're not going to see this in the finished product, but I still always just use a friction pen because I would rather have the opportunity to get rid of it if I need to. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this guy. Oops, start in the middle. Every time I do it, I start on the edge and I'm like, ugh, no, you start in the middle. It's less likely to stretch your fabric and distort what you're trying to draw. Alright, so we've done that. Now we're going to go ahead, we'll cut both of these as it's folded to make our circles. Pretty straightforward so far. There's one. There's the other. Like I said, you're not really going to see the line, so you could use a regular pen, but to each his own. I think these are super fun to hang over if your sewing machine is up against a wall. You can use these over a desk for office supplies. They're just really cute. You can even paint these hoops if you want to make them whatever color you want. You open this one up. Oh, wait, hold on. I opened the wrong one. This is your background circle. This is your pocket circle. And because I pressed them in the middle, I have a line so I can align it. But the first thing we need to do before we do that is we need to add the binding on. So let me press this in half, just like we do a normal binding. So I've pressed the binding strip. It's a 2-inch strip. I pressed the binding in half. I'm going to align it with the folded edge of my circle. And this is literally just a decorative binding. You can add it in, you can leave it off, but I think it just gives it a finished piece. And then you're going to bind this on however you like to bind. I usually will sew my binding to the back of the piece, and then I bring it around to the front, and I use a matching thread. Let me see if I can get there. Matching thread with a blind hem stitch. I did this in gray just so you could see it. And a blind hem stitch, and I just tack it down. And then on the back of it, you can see it goes through, not the binding, but underneath it. And that gives you a nice finished binding. This is how we bind all our quilts as well. And then on this one, we did the pink on there. And yeah, I missed it a little, which you gotta be really careful when you deal with white. And then, so then once this is bound and this is done, we're going to put it, we're going to stitch the two together and put it in the ring. So I'm going to go ahead, get everything bound for the little guy and the big guy. And then let me talk about how we're going to finish that. And then I'm going to come back and show you how we finish these. So for the middle guy, so the big guy goes together like the little guy. They go together exactly the same. The only thing we're going to do is before we finish this is we'll do these stitches down the middle to divide the pocket, and I'll walk you through that when we get to that part. The middle sized one is striped, so I want to show you how we did that. That one, you have your middle template. We still put the word fold there because you have to cut your background. So in this case, it's a pale pink, and we would put this on the fold. We'll put that on the fold, trace it and cut it just like we did for the small ones. But then for the pocket itself, we're going to piece the stripe. So to do the back side of the pocket to cover our seams, so you can stick and look in there, you can't see any of the seams. You're going to take a rectangle and you're going to lay this on the rectangle and not worry about the word fold because there's no fold on this. Trace it and you will now have the back half of your pocket. For the front half of the pocket, you're going to sew these strips together just like the pattern tells you. 1, 2, 3. Once these are sewn together, again, don't worry about the word fold, but do align it with the top edge, and you're going to cut this to get the pocket front. Now you're going to put the pocket front and pocket back together, wrong sides together, bind it to create this front pocket unit. It'll be solid on the back and pinstriped on the front. So it's a really nice, easy way to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my pocket fronts done, cut and bound, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to put them together with the hoop. So stick around, I'll be right back. We've got our 3 pocket fronts done, so now you can see where I did the binding along the folded edge. So this has still got, you know, double pieces. It's just to give you a nice finish. That's what it looks like on the back, and that's what it looks like on the front. So the next thing we're going to do, well, let me show you all of them. This is the pieced one. So now you can see why I had a half a circle for the back and then the piecing on the front. So this one, the binding is actually holding the 2 pieces together. And then finally we have the pink one, and again, it's just a white circle folded in half. So once you get your binding on, you can see they're very long. I purposely do that so that I could just trim these up to match my circle, and I don't have to try to match these up. So there's circle, there's the little guy, there's the big guy. And you see how that doesn't quite match? Don't worry about it because it's going to get glued to the back of the hoop and you have a lot of play, so it doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. And there's this guy. So the next step is we're going to take these over to the sewing machine. I'm going to use like an 1/8 or scant quarter inch seam allowance, and I'm going to stitch the pocket to the front of the circle. And you can use that half mark in the middle to help you align and the raw edges. And when I do this, I do go right over my binding to tack it down. It's all going to go into the back of the piece. You're not even going to see it. You can see there, we're going to be gluing it to the back. So it doesn't have to be perfect, and it is okay to go over the binding. You actually want to go over the binding so that when we do glue it to the back, we're gluing like one piece versus multiple layers of fabric. So I'm going to get these 3 stitched on and come right back and show you the next step. Alright, so I've got these stitched on. You can see what I'm talking about. Now it's all just like one unit, each one of these. And then these 2 are ready to go in the hoop and glue. This one, we're going to do our divided pockets. So what you do is I like to just fold this in half and finger crease it. Now I have my center line, and then I take a ruler and I put the 2-inch mark on the center line and make sure that's parallel. Keep putting my pen away. And I'm just going to mark it down. And then I'm going to flip this over and repeat the 2-inch on the center line. It's just a 4-inch centered pocket, but that's an easy way to do it without having to, you know, hope your ruler's in the right spot. So how quick that was. I'm going to go over and just top stitch these down really quick so that we have our divided pocket that you see there. So you can see there where I've stitched the lines down, and now I have my divided pockets. You want to do that before it goes into the hoop. So now that we've got that part done, we're ready to hoop these 3 pockets, and they all are done the same. So I'm going to just, for time's sake, show you how to do the smaller pocket, and then you'll repeat it for the bigger ones. So first things first is you get your hoops. You need a 4-inch hoop, a 6-inch hoop, and a 10-inch hoop. And you can change the circles and use different hoops if you happen to have a lot of hoops. So what you do is you center this, eyeball it, but center it, You can use a ruler, depends on how precise you want to be, and then you pick up the whole thing and you slide it over the hoop. And sometimes you have to open these really wide because of that pocket, because of the binding on the pocket. And then this is nice and tight. You just tug it, make sure everything is snug. And then tighten this up as tight as you can. If it takes a screwdriver, you can even use the screwdriver to get it a little bit more snug. There it is. And now on this one, if the pocket seems too shallow, you could shift this. You have excess, you have extra fabric to shift it up like I did on this one. You can see the pocket is a little bit deeper on this one, where the background's a little deeper on that one. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. I think I'm going to shift this up a little bit. And that's why I gave you so much extra to play, so that you can adjust the pockets however you want. You can divide the pockets however you want. All right, that guy is in there. So now let me show you how to glue it. So I'm using a glue gun. You could do a running stitch and stitch it down, but when you get to the pocket, it's a little heavy. So I don't worry about that part. I'm just going to glue it. So I have my little glue gun. And what I'm doing is I'm putting the glue on the flat part of the hoop, and I'm only doing a couple inches at a time. And then I'm just folding this in and pushing it down against the hoop. And I'm just going to work my way all the way around the hoop and push that down, and that's it. If you get a piece that sticks up a little funny, just put some glue on it and push it into place. It does not have to be pretty. It is just the back of the piece. And again, I'm just kind of pleating and folding as I go, so you can see what that looks like. Get my glue strings out. And we're just going to work all the way around, and then our little hoop is all done. When you get to that top space, just smooth it out the way you want it to look, where you can see the fabric right there. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of these glued, and then they will look like these. So there it is, all finished and glued. Here's this one. Now this one, you can kind of see the fabric through it, so you might want to put a piece of batting on the back so you can kind of see it. That's totally up to you. Or you can even put a piece of cardstock back there, or don't use a light color for your background. But to me, that doesn't really bother me, so I am happy with it. I'm just letting you know that it happens, and I think if I just run my finger in there and tuck it, it looks fine. And then there's the big guy with his pockets. You can see, you know, scissors will go right in there. It holds up, doesn't fall out. There you go. But they're just really cute little organizers. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Are you going to be making some hoop wall organizers? And are you enjoying this series? I am sad to see this one wrap up. We will be doing a video on assembling the whole quilt in the near future, but this does wrap up the 12 months of Imagine. I hope you've enjoyed the videos. Leave me a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.